Welcome to CrossYoga. My name is Rie and I'm going to guide you through a short CrossYoga flow, slow sequence that hopefully is going to ground you and maybe open your heart towards God. So we'll start standing, and I'll actually invite you to get a little bit more distance in between your feet than you normally would, just to get that sensation of grounding down. Drawing your shoulder blades to the front, up and then back. Not like squeezing back, but just a little bit of awareness of the shoulders not hinging forward. Palms to the front, and then close your eyes. And you might move from left to right side a little bit. Small movements, noticing how left and right foot engages more as you shift your weight from side to side. And maybe you want to lean a little bit forward and back without falling, lifting up your toes or just feeling that sensation of the mat underneath the feet. And whatever you need to ground into, put that into your thought and your awareness. Maybe you're grounding into God's love, or God's promises for your future, or something else. Bring your attention to what you're grounding yourself into. And then bend your knees ever so slightly and lean forward. Drop your head so you're just hanging there. And again, welcome to kind of move a little bit from side to side, maybe even bending your knees more. Moving your head and your neck. And with your fingers maybe on the floor, on the blocks, take your feet even wider and toes pointing out this time. Gonna do a horse stance, so toes and knees out in the same direction. You can stand wider or shorter than me. Let the hands hold on to your thighs. Lean a little bit forward. And again, you can ride along with me here from side to side. Maybe even lifting the toes on one of the legs. But staying low so you feel your thighs getting some attention and some love. And then stand still. Again, rolling your shoulder blades back and then twisting gently to your left side. So right shoulder coming down, looking maybe up. Lifting up again. Make sure your legs, your hips stand still. So it's only the core and your shoulders that are moving. And maybe move with your breath. So you exhale as you twist to your left. Inhale as you move up. Exhale to your right. So keep moving here a little bit. Engaging your core. One more time to each side. And again, forward fold, and then I actually move my heels further out. So I get into a version of wide standard forward fold. Either grab your ankles or hands on the floor or blocks. And let your head drop. with our head down, I'll invite you to let go of things that are holding you back. Maybe it's pride or unforgiveness. All the things that the Bible calls sin, things that separate us from our friends, from God, from the earth that we're living on. So surrender what you need to surrender. And maybe sigh it out. And letting it go, like you drop a hat with your head down here, or drop something heavy off your shoulders. And then walk your hand to the top end of the mat and step the foot back, downward facing dog. Making sure you micro bend the elbows, still somewhat hip width distance, 2 fists distance in between your feet. And come into plank. Now this might be a little too much. You're also always welcome to adjust. So I might start actually on my knees. So this would be the maybe easier version. So you can extend one leg out, bend the knee so you have a low plank here. And then of course extend the other leg. Now if you want to do the opposite, it's a little bit harder on the core. So stand in plank and bend one knee at the time. Stretch the leg. Strong core, shoulders back. Lifting through the sternum. And just 4, 3, navel in, 2, 1. Knees on the ground, child's pose. Maybe you take your hands down by your side. Forehead on the mat. And then we can make our way into tabletop. And you might do some free movements here. Bring your attention to your spine. As you move, maybe it feels tight or weak or strong somewhere. It's always just nice to pay attention to your spine. It's an important part of our body and our health as well. All right, walk your hands a little bit further to the front. Again, knees off, downward facing dog. And then walk your feet to the top end of the mat. And standing up into mountain pose. So you can do like a small bowl here, bowl with your hands. And close your eyes. And into your hands, place those people that you love or care about and that you want to pray for right now. For healing or God's angels, whatever makes sense. Just mention their names. Put them down into your hands as a prayer, as a way of offering God's protection and love to these people. Some of you might be used to going on with prayer. Some of us might not, but however we used to or not, lift your arms up and kind of
picturing God receiving your prayers. And then take your hands down. We're gonna work with our balance for a little bit. So maybe you take your hands out. If you find it hard to hold on to balance, you can always hold on to something. Maybe just with a finger, and actually this posture is better to do on the side instead of to the front, okay? So hold on to the wall or whatever you have nearby with the side to what you're holding on. So right leg up, and then we're gonna draw the leg out to the side and do some circles if possible. If this is not an option, maybe just take your knee down and move your leg out like this, okay? Or just forward or back. Noticing the grounding, maybe picturing your left leg grounding down like roots into the earth, giving you what you need. Also when you're out of balance. So maybe going back to what your intention was or what you wanted to ground yourself into, and have that in the back of your mind as you move your right leg. And then ground both feet down and close your eyes. Notice the heat. Maybe your left thigh from holding the balance. And let's open up our eyes and do exactly the same thing, just on the other side. Now your arms can go wherever. You might even, if you have the balance, go into prayer posture. And again, root down with your right foot into your intention. It's also when we're shaken, when we're some sort of thrown out of balance in life, we can ground down into God's love or God's promises, whatever it was that you took as a theme in the beginning of the class. And drop your leg down. Take your arms out to the side and maybe looking up. Standing as tall as possible. And this I'm always picturing like a antenna, something pointing up towards the sky. And maybe you're saying, God, I want to listen in. Is there anything that you want to speak to me about? I'm here. And fold forward. Now you might not be used to listening to God. In my interpretation of this, I always think of God's or the Holy Spirit's voice as my intuition or ideas popping into my head. Find your down dog as I talk. So if maybe someone close to you or somebody came into your mind, maybe that's because God reminded you of that person. Maybe you should do something, send a text, or something else, just send a prayer. Or maybe something else dropped into your mind, something positive. Move into plank. On your toes or on your knees, lower down to low plank, elbows tucked in by your ribs. As you come down, lift up your sternum, shoulders back, move into down dog.
Now, this is not at all what you like. Just stay in down dog or move from down dog to plank. We're going to do just 3 more of these. Lower down, maybe as you exhale. Inhale, cobra, or you might want to do up dog with your hip off. Exhaling, down dog. And just move. Inhaling, plank. Exhaling, lower down. Cobra or up dog. Inhale. And exhale, down dog. Last time. Plank. Low plank. Cobra or up dog. And maybe you let your knees stay down. Child's pose, let your hands be at the front, palms facing up. Relax everything. And I finish this short class with an invitation to finish with gratitude, worship, whatever you want to call it. But say thank you to God or whatever you believe in. Thank you for the things that you might take for granted. So just mention the things, small things, big things. If you're done, slowly come up. Maybe take a seat on the mat. So you can welcome to stay in child's pose, obviously. But from my heart to yours, thank you for attending this prayer in motion video. May God bless you. Remember to share this video if it makes sense to you.